Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a beautiful spring night to come together to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate relationships, to meet new people, and to spend time with old friends. We begin tonight on page 128. Hine matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. How good, how wonderful it is when we come together.
Hine matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad.
Before we welcome in the Sabbath bride, let's take a moment to introduce ourselves to one another and to get up and move around and to wish at least 3 people you didn't know when you walked in a Shabbat Shalom. So we'll have lots of time to come back together during the Oneg following services and to continue our conversations. But we continue now with Lecha Dodi on page 138, and we'll be singing verses 1 and 9, page 138.
La 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 Lecha Dodi, la 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 nikrot kala, la 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 Pnei Shabbat tikabela, Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmi'anu el hameyuchad Adonai echad, Ushemo echad, L'Shem u'tiferet, V'litchila. Lai, 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 la, 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 lecha dodi. La, 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 likrot kala. La, 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 Pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom. Ateret balam. Gam v'simcha. U'tzolam. Toch emunei. Am segulam. Boi kala. Boi kala. Lai, lai, lai. La, 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 lecha dodi. La, 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 likrot kala. La, 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 Pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nikabela.
I was talking to somebody before services and saying that one of the saddest parts for me of this time of year is that we say goodbye to the kids who are growing up and going off to college. Because I don't know about you, Cantor, but I feel every bar and bat mitzvah that crosses this bima, I feel like has entered my family. I assume you feel the same way.
Exactly.
And it is a joy and a pleasure to be on that journey with both our youth and our adults who become B'nai Mitzvah here at the temple. So to do us the honor of lighting the Shabbat candles tonight, Joe, your timing is perfect. I want to invite up everybody who had a bar or bat mitzvah at B'nai Israel, whether they did it as youth or as adults, to come and join us on the bima and to do us the honor of lighting the Shabbat candles. The blessing for the candles can be found on page 120, but first we continue with Shalom Aleichem on page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bokem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't stand so far. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. Blessing.
You guys come up here to read on this side.
Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen. Barchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyonim, Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We rise for the Baruch Hu on page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We continue together on the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shochveinu v'kumeinu, Nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, u'bahem neged yomam v'layla. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohei B'amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
We continue together with the Ve'ahavta on page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anoki mitzavcha היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We continue together on the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך פועלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם, נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? They're all I ever have. Redemption songs. Malachutecha, Ra'u banecha, Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu be'ameru, Adonai lo le'olam ba'ed. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom, all I ever planned? Redemption songs, redemption songs, redemption songs. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We continue together at the top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lay down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. I'd like to call up all of our B'nai Mitzvah students who are in the youth or the adult program to come and join us on the bima. We continue on page 162 with Vishamru.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat ledorotam brit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et Shabbat ledorotam brit olam.
Please rise for the Tehillah on page 164.
Well done. You ready? Are you ready for me? You're going to read it or me? Okay. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agitei latecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Yaakov, Atah Rab le'Hoshia, Morid Hatah, Mechakel Chaim v'Chesed, Mechayei Yaakov v'Rachamim Rabim, Somek Noflim v'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Ba'agevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neman atah lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom, Yehallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue praying privately from page 172 through 180, either standing or sitting as is your custom.
ratzon imre fi v'gyon libi. Ratzon imre fi v'gyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'goali, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'goali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, oh my rock and my redeemer. Ratzon imre fi v'gyon libi. Ratzon imre fi v'gyon libi lefanecha.
Our prayers now turn towards those who are in need of healing, a healing of body or a healing of spirit. As we turn to our Shabbat flyers for the Misha Berach Lecholim, the prayer for healing for those who are ill, we hold in our hearts all of those in our own lives and those in the world who are praying for a refuah shlema, a complete healing of body and spirit.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding, strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Misha Berach Avotenu, Misha Berach Imotenu, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom. So quick pop quiz. Who remembers what the last major, not Shabbat, but the last major Jewish holiday that we celebrated? No, that's actually, that would not be considered a major Jewish holiday. Major Jewish holidays means they're from the Bible. The others even though they're still important, are considered minor. So major Jewish holiday. What's the last major one? Pesach, right, Passover. And what's the next major Jewish holiday? Shavuot. Now, why am I asking you this, you may ask? Not because I want to quiz you, but because it puts what we're talking about tonight in a little bit more context. One of the ways that the rabbis describe the relationship between God and the Jewish people is as a marriage. Not always the healthiest marriage. Sometimes there's a little too much guilt, sometimes a little too much anger, but nonetheless, as a love story. They tell us that at Passover we read from the Song of Songs, which is love poetry, because we're told that at Passover God wooed us. How did God woo us? This is where the abusive relationship comes in. The 10 plagues were like basically God flexing and saying, check this out, don't you want to be with me? Not that, you didn't do that, Michael, did you do anything like that, the 10 plagues? Oh, only the locusts, okay. So God is wooing the Jewish people, but we don't get married immediately. We have an engagement period. That between Passover and Shavuot is basically our engagement. So that is 50 days where we're checking each other out. We're making sure this is what we really want to do. And then atop Mount Sinai, we're given a ketubah, also known as the 10 Commandments. And the marriage is sealed. Now, it's an interesting thing that the rabbis look at this as a metaphor for marriage, because marriage is one of the primary relationships that we experience, either in our own lives with somebody that we love, or, God willing, with parents that love each other. But it's kind of the cornerstone of Jewish society. The family structure is, don't tell anyone, but more important than the synagogue. It's really like the foundation of how we transmit Judaism from generation to generation. And so we hope it's being transmitted in a loving way. So I thought it might be interesting to look at, these are just a few of the quotes that Judaism has to teach us about relationships. Now I have to say that I cherry-picked particularly from the Talmud, because one of the fun things about the Talmud is that you could tell which rabbis had bad marriages and which ones had good ones. Their quotes are very different, and their takeaways on what to look for in a spouse are very, very different. So I put my bias to it and chose the non-misogynist texts. Now, one of the problems with Judaism is, of course, we're looking at an ancient text, but we're looking at it from modern eyes. So from a Reform perspective, even though the examples we're given are male and female, this really is looking at what does it mean to be in relationship? What does it mean to be in a sacred relationship with another human being? Because that's how we view marriage, that it's not just a contract, but it's a contract that comes from love. So to see where the first marriage comes from, we have to go all the way back to Genesis. But instead of looking at the original quote in Genesis chapter 1 that tells us about the creation of the first human, I want to look at how it's viewed through the eyes of the Zohar, out of the mystical tradition in Judaism. And again, you could translate husband and wife for two beloveds as spouses, partners, however you want to translate it. In the Zohar, it's written, a husband and a wife are one soul, separated only through their descent to this world. When they are married, they are reunited again. Now, this gives us an understanding that there's a spiritual connection to marriage, that it's not just a physical relationship, but it's a coming together of a soul, and a coming together in a sense of creating shleimut, creating a sense of wholeness again in something that had been separated into two halves. And the reason we have this idea from the Zohar is because we're taught in Genesis chapter 1 that when God created the first person, that it was a singular person, and God created Ha'adam. Adam means earthling or person, not Adam, not the man. It doesn't become a name until the next chapter. And that God creates Ha'adam, the human, both male and female. So we know that this thing is more complicated, that it's not a man, but it's a human, and the human contains within it a multiplicity of truths and realities. So in Genesis chapter 2, we see Ha'adam wandering through the Garden of Eden, feeling very lonely and very sad. Like, who wouldn't be sad if you're in paradise all by yourself? And the Torah says, and the eternal God said, God talks to themselves a lot. And the eternal God said, it's not good that the person should be alone. I will make for the person a help to match them. Now, the reason I say the person is because in the Hebrew it says ha'adam. How many of you go by the Melissa as opposed to Melissa? How many of you use the word the before your name? I'm hoping not, because that would be kind of icky and arrogant. The Donald, yes. There are those who, it's always a red flag if there's a the before your name. So we know here that it's not looking at Adam as a man, but ha'adam, the person. Ha means the. So we know here that it's this person of no particular gender or of all genders walking through the Garden of Eden, and God realized it needs a partner, that it shouldn't be wandering through this garden by themselves. And then it tells us, and Ha'adam, the person, gave names to all the cattle and to the birds of the air and to every beast of the field. But for the person, there was not found a help to match him. So one of the things we see here is that Adam also then, Adam, begins to realize that they're alone, that every other animal has a partner except for him or it. Hebrew has genders, so it's kind of complicated. But that Adam is the only one in all the world that is going through life by themselves. And so now Adam realizes that they need someone. So then a couple of verses later, this is after. So there's controversy about how Eve is created, but basically kind of the mainstream belief in Judaism is, here, Blair, oh no, you have a bad leg. Michael, you get to be my partner. Okay, so if you don't mind, put your arms around my shoulder, okay? So we are Adam, we are this earthling, and whatever, the one head that speaks says, oh, I'm so lonely. And so God says, okay, I'm gonna put you to sleep. Now, close your eyes. And then while Adam is sleeping, God kind of slices them in two, and now we have two people. And then Adam opens their eyes, and now, let's look at, now you could say, you did really good, thank you, everyone. So there we see, therefore shall a man, Ish, now it's this thing, this human is no longer called Ha'adam. It suddenly becomes something else. And it becomes something else because it's now in relationship with another person. It transforms them. How many of you have been in a relationship that was so beautiful that it transformed who you were? You, in essence, become a different person than you were before. Nobody? This is sad because I know there's a lot of marriages out here. Okay. I felt like a different person when I met my husband. It was a different type of relationship, and I became a different version of who I was. And so we're taught, therefore shall a man, an ish, leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave to his wife, ishto. Ish is male, isha is female, and they shall be one flesh. That we see that there is a transformation in Ha'adam. Now we have identities that they can see themselves in only because they can see themselves in relationship to someone else. Now, one of the other interesting things about this, I didn't put it in. Oh, no. Okay, so if you look at the second quote in English, let's go back to what Adam was looking for. Adam was looking for, in the Hebrew, it tells us, an ezer kenegdo. This is my favorite expression in all of the Torah because it is a strange expression. Ezer means a helper, and kenegdo means an opposition. And that what Adam is looking for is someone who can be a counterbalance. And that's what a soulmate is. It's not someone who's exactly like you. A soulmate should be somebody who brings a sense of balance into your life, who knows how to help you when you need help, and also knows how to say, no, that's a really bad idea. Change your outfit before you leave the house. But somebody who has equal weight in that relationship, that one person should not be dominant and one should not be subservient, but rather you have found your partner when you find somebody who could really bring a sense of balance into your life. So that's what we get from Genesis. So then I thought it might be fun to look what King Solomon has to say. To the best of my knowledge, no Jew has been married more than King Solomon. He had 700 wives and I think 300 concubines. I don't know how he did it, but I guess it doesn't help when you have servants and lots of palaces. But that's a lot of children and a lot of wives coming from that. So our tradition teaches us that King Solomon wrote 3 of the different books that are in the Torah, in the Bible. We're taught that when he was a young man, he wrote Song of Songs, which is rather explicit love poetry, so that's where his brain was then. Then in middle age, he wrote Proverbs, which is wisdom literature, where he's basically the older man telling the younger men, this is how you should live in the world, this is the way to wisdom. And in Ecclesiastes, he's kind of bitter and old and grumpy, and he's still giving advice. It just feels like you need to drink some scotch while you're listening to him talk. It's a very different vibe. So this was his teaching in his youth. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. Any thoughts and reactions to that one? Does it sound really deep? No, it's more like, oh, he was made for me. How many of you have been married for more than 10 years that still think, oh, he was made for me, or she was made for me? I'm glad Daryl's not here. Do you really feel that way? Do you feel like he was made for you, or do you feel like you have made him in the image you want him to be?
I feel like he was made for me and grew together.
And you grew together. That is the important part. After 10 years, it's not somebody made him for me or made her for me. You grow together. You both have hopefully changed and grown up a bit. And so we see that actually in his advice in Proverbs, where King Solomon says, one who has found a wife has found goodness and has brought forth favor from God. He's seeing the world in a more expansive way. And he's realizing that a lot of the blessings in his life is because he has a partner. He has someone to be in this world with. And I love this one because, again, I want to point out he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. So now as an old man, he says, enjoy life with the wife you love. Dying to know which one was the wife he loved. Because that's a hard contest. Wouldn't that be a great game show, King Solomon's Wives? You know. But his goal is different. It's very different than when he was a young man. And he's writing the romantic love poetry. Now it's about something else. It's about love. It's about being in relationship in a different sort of way. Oh, I thought I heard someone. But my very favorite teaching is the one at the bottom. Rabbi Yossi, who was one of the guys who had a very good marriage, said, I never called my wife, but rather my home, Beit Shali, or Beiti in the Talmud. And I love that one because when 2 people get married in Judaism, they get married underneath a chuppah, a marriage canopy, and the marriage canopy is not supposed to be a stable, solid thing. It's not like a gazebo that's there all the time. It's portable. A marriage canopy in its most traditional sense is really 4 pieces of wood with a talit tied above, giving shelter to the 2 people getting married, but open on all sides, so it's still a welcoming space for others. But the most important part of that is it is portable. That your home is not in a specific place, but your home is something that travels with you. That when those 2 people who stand under the marriage canopy create a home together, doesn't matter if it's in a tent, doesn't matter if it's in a castle, it doesn't matter where it is, home is where they dwell together. And I love that. My wife is my home. And 2 people who love each other should always feel at home with each other. And so I want to invite up 2 people who are taking a very important step in their lives and in their relationship. So Lucy and Michael, if you could come and join us on the bima. And actually, did you bring any friends with you? Do you want to bring them up onto the bima also? They're going to be your chuppah holders tonight. So here, come here. So when are the two of you getting hitched?
June 2nd.
So very soon. And are you doing it here in this lovely city of Sacramento?
We are not. We are doing it in Tarrytown, New York.
So it's really a joy for us to be able to celebrate your Ufruf here at the congregation, a place that the two of you together have really made your community and your congregation, and to be able to have your friends from here to be able to celebrate with you is really a blessing. So I'm going to invite everyone to please rise as we go before the ark. And is this from your bar mitzvah?
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you what parents don't tell you when you have a bar mitzvah. They really hope that you're going to grow up and have a wedding and use your talit at your wedding. So I hope are you using it at your wedding?
Yeah, we are.
I love that you had to look at Lucy and check to see.
It's been a lot of planning.
No, but you're well on your road to being married if you know that you should check with her before you answer a question.
She's my home, not my wedding.
Yeah.
I can hold that.
So
and
I
then
need two of you on that side and two of you on this side.
you two are right here.
No, three.
Oh.
Yeah, but only two of them have arms.
How are you feeling? Good.
Above their heads. Okay.
Can you hold this side? There you go.
Yeah. You can't read my writing? Do you want to do the first part? Yeah, just Likvod HaShabbat.
Where? To where?
Likvod HaShabbat.
Okay. Okay. Usually I type things out. Okay. משברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב שרה רבקה רחל ולאה הוא יברך את החתן מיכאל יששכר בן זלחיים ויהודית חנה ואת הכלה אורית בת אלון ומרי ולינה רזה אשר בקרוב ייכנסו לחופה בעבור שאלו לכבוד המקום ולכבוד התורה ולכבוד השבת.
May the God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the groom, Michael Levine, and his kala, his bride, Lucy Cheadle, who will be joined under the chuppah and who have come before the Torah with reverence for God and reverence for this Shabbat. May the Kodesh Baruch Hu help them to build a Jewish home based on love and harmony, peace and companionship. May they be blessed with healthy children, if that is what you want, and lives imbued with happiness, love for Torah and for ma'asim tovim, good deeds. May God bring blessings and success to all of their worthy endeavors, and let us say, Amen.
You're waiting. You're I saw that. יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May the Holy One bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May the Holy One turn towards you with kindness and with compassion.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום וישם לך שלום.
May the Holy One grant you both long and healthy lives so that you may establish a home filled with shalom, filled with peace. And let us say, Amen. So you guys, whoever's tallest can grab that and help hold it up. So one of the beautiful things about Judaism is that, oh, don't fall down. You have a big week coming up. Okay. One of the beautiful things about Judaism is that when a joyous event happens for someone in our community, we recognize that this is something for all of us to celebrate, that a good thing for you is a good thing for all of us.
Semen tov, mazel tov, the semen tov, mazel tov, the semen tov, mazel tov, the semen tov. Yehelanu, 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 oh l'kol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, oh l'kol Yisrael.
So Lucy and Michael,
Please be seated. Be seated.
please be seated. May you have a sweet life, and we look forward to celebrating many, many happy occasions with the two of you here at the congregation.
We needed to have kids who came up and gathered
I know, so the kids who were here, oh, some of them left already.
after the service.
Emmett, it's all on you to gather up the candy after the service. Good.
And I know he's taking it very
He's-
seriously.
yeah, he is.
You've got this, Emmett.
So it's my pleasure now to invite up Jason Weiner, the president of the JCRC and longtime leader in our congregation, to offer some announcements and greetings.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wow, that was great. Thank you to Michael and to Lucy for letting us be a part of your celebration. That's awesome. Thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for a wonderful service. And you know it's a holiday weekend when I'm the one they asked to come up and do this. I haven't been on the board in like 3 years. So we have a lot of activities going on even this week and over the holiday weekend. So please, first of all, after the service, we have an oneg in the social hall. We welcome all of you to join us back there as soon as the service is concluded. There's, I'm sure, great noshes, and Dean always puts out an amazing display. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 is our weekly Torah study. It's going to be in person and on Zoom, in person in the library with Byron Miller. And 10:30 is our Shabbat morning service in the chapel with Judy Emick-Leatherwood and Blair Leatherwood leading it. Memorial Day service at Home of Peace, which is our local Jewish cemetery, is on Monday at 10 a.m. Hope that you can be there. On Tuesday, and this isn't on my list, Tuesday evening, so if you don't know, this is Jewish American Heritage month of May. And the Sacramento City Council is going to be have a resolution to honor Jewish American Heritage Month on Tuesday evening at 5 o'clock at City Hall. All are welcome to join. It's a public meeting. Hope you'll be there to celebrate and to recognize the holiday, the month with us. And then this Friday evening, next Friday night service, is the installation of our youth group, Busy's, new officers. And my baby over there, Nessa Weiner, is going to be installed as the new president. I know. And then Saturday, June 1st, we hope you can come. The adult B'nai Mitzvah class is going to be called to the Torah. They've been studying for a year and a half together, learning, growing, and delving into Judaism. Please come to support their achievements and to celebrate together as a community. I'll be here. Our annual meeting is Sunday, June 2nd at 11 a.m. If you've never been, it's a great chance to learn more about how the synagogue works and to come together for a potluck lunch. CBI is going to provide that main dish. And just to wrap up, registration is now open for Camp Shalanu. That's our Jewish summer day camp here at the synagogue. And anyone who has kids, I think it's up to 7th grade can participate. And lastly, one of the great features of Camp Shalanu is that we have from Israel a shliach or a shlicha, shliach this year, male counselor from Israel who's coming, and congregants generously provide housing throughout the summer. We have a slot that really needs someone to fill it, July 19th to July 29th. So if you could host a guest from Israel, we'd love for you to contact the office and let us know. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
It's my pleasure to invite up all of our B'nai Mitzvah students who are with us to join us on the Bima again and to do us the honor of leading us in the Yaleinu. Emmett. And please rise as we continue on the bottom half of page 586. Yeah, there's lots for you to get.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo atzanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim v'yosed haaretz, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת זו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוקים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Well done.
Our thoughts now turn to loved ones who are no longer with us. And it is our tradition at B'nai Israel to welcome back into our midst those who have most recently said goodbye to a loved one. Diane and Joe, it is with heavy hearts that we welcome you into this space tonight. A space that you have spent so many years celebrating with your very beloved Jules, your beloved husband and father, who such a longtime member of our congregation for over can you believe that? Over half a century was a member of our congregation. I remember meeting Jules and you, Diane, shortly after I came here 26 years ago with the two of you on the education committee and seeing you always supporting the youth in our congregation in every way that the two of you possibly could, including raising up a son who taught in our religious school as well. Jules was a sweetheart, a big bear of a man who was funny and kind and larger than life. And I know that he has already missed by everyone who knew him. So our condolences to the two of you, to Johanna, who I don't know if she's watching us, to Johanna and to Naf and to Shai and to Fritz. He was a great man. Also, with sadness, we recall the recent passing of Harry Jenkins, the beloved grandfather of Brian Friedman, beloved grandfather-in-law of Nicole Friedman, and beloved great-grandfather of Evelyn and Alice Friedman. Zichronam livracha. May their memories forever be a blessing. We also recall loved ones who have passed away at this time in years past. We remember Alfred Epfel, Doris Bloom, Albert Cahotis, Lois Christie, Crystal Droscher, Eugene Dworkin, Harry Fassler, Jack Fisher, Sarah Frank, Shirley Harris, Lorraine Helen Polivai, Alice Hillard, John Howell, Jay Isaacs, Janet Jacob, Albert Cantor, Faith Kohler, Hugh Koppel, Aaron Crotinger, Joyce Levitt, Philip Levy, Stanley Mocht, Jay Mocht, Eleanor Mandelson, Albert Marcus, Cecilia Marks, Josephine Miller, Joseph Herman Miller, Mary Nessman, Marla Newton, Hilda Novick-Fratz, Mayor Pasternak, Corinne Pereira, Raymond Pettengill, Esteban Ramirez, David Rosenthal, Alan Rosoff, Sam Sankary, John Robert Shannon, Leo Szymanski, Doris Silver, Manning Slater, Willie Smith, Doris Solomon, Nero Sanuda, Sarah Tall, and Leonard Wangro. If there are any names of loved ones you'd like to add to the Kaddish list tonight, please feel free to call those names aloud as my gaze meets yours. I'd like to invite those who are saying Kaddish for a loved one tonight to please rise. And if the congregation can please join me in these words of comfort. Hamakom yenechem etchem betok sha'ar of Leit Zion v'Yushalayim. May God comfort you among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We rise as a community to offer comfort to those who grieve as we continue together on page 598. Yitkadav v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon v'yom echon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam umei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei tekudsha, barichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushvechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'marmav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say,
Amen.
Cantor, what do you have for us as a closing song tonight?
Wow, Rabbi, it's funny you should ask.
So funny.
So funny. I was thinking about what you were saying about marriage, and I was looking out at the congregation and seeing the joy of you two coming up and standing under the chuppah to begin, that sort of a preview of coming attractions, and that I hope on your wedding day that you look out at your friends and your community and your family and you realize that together you build a life, that the two of you are at the center as you begin together, but you have strength and joy from those surrounding you and those who came before you. So I thought it would be nice to do Chazak.
Take it away.
Are you going to sing with me?
I'm going to try.
This
if I
is
can
really
sing the words.
nice.
I know, I'm just trying to see
Okay.
if I can. No, do what you need to do.
We have come from near and far to raise our voice in song. And the more we join in the refrain, the more we we feel strong. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. There is a power in this place and time. It shapes the rest of our lives. For when we return each year, we find a truth we can't deny. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong and let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. As we sing, we link ourselves to those who came before. And we're one with all those yet to come. Our strength, it will endure. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong and let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek.
That was lovely.
I'm just so happy that you stood and sang with me. That's like,
Oh, I can't resist Dan Nichols. I love him. Here, you want to get the big girl cut? We conclude the service with the Kiddush and the Motzi. Afterwards, we hope everybody joins us for the wonderful oneg that's awaiting us in the social hall, which is just right through those doors over there.
blessings are on page 123. Okay, please join us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tekilo lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu vakarta ve'otanu kidashta mikol olamim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim u'l'shalom. I know you don't. Me neither.
Oh, it's dry. That's good. My tongue is still stuck to the top of my mouth. Ooh, a little chocolate. I really want to know how somebody got the chocolate
Under the challah. It was, yes. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom v'tevon.